I know, it's not Monday, but Samsung just dropped a huge new announcement and I had to make sure to tell you guys about it. What's going on, guys? My name is Tomic and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Samsung's brand new Samsung Watch 3 and comparing it to Apple's Apple Watch Series 5. Now, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy the content I create. Usually on this channel, we talk about technology and architecture, all things encompassed. I've made a promise to myself and to you guys to put out one video every single week, every single Monday. Now, just 2 weeks ago, I ruptured my Achilles tendon, so I'm still in crutches. Going to be in crutches for a long time and probably not going to be walking for about 3 or so months. But I'm still trying my absolute best to make these videos happen. To set up this studio today by myself was a little bit of a challenge and I'm completely exhausted, so I apologize if that comes through in my tone of voice. I think considering this is my second video this week with a ruptured Achilles tendon on crutches and in a cast, that definitely deserves a like to help with this video's algorithm. And if you really want to, make sure you smash that subscribe button too. Anyway, let's get on with today's video. So like I said, the Samsung Watch 3 was just announced. And without putting a huge spoiler on this video, but it's basically a Samsung Active 2, just reshelled. Now, let me go through that and compare it against what Apple's old Series 5 has to do with it. I say old because Apple releases its new smartwatches about September, which is only a few months away. So if you're debating these two and swaying towards the Apple side, definitely hold off to see if Apple's new Series 6 is coming out in September. So let's compare these two side by side. The Samsung Watch 3 comes in a 41mm and a 45mm case, whilst the Apple Watch Series 5 comes in a 40mm and a 44mm. It's like Samsung was just trying to one-up Apple on this one. So they both come in 3 variations of different colors. Samsung comes in Mystic Bronze, Mystic Silver and Mystic Black, whilst the Apple Series 5 comes in Gold, Stainless Steel and Space Grey. They both start at the $649 Australian dollar price tag and they go all the way up to $1,259 if you're looking at an Apple Series 5 or $849 if you're looking at the LTE version 44mm Samsung Watch 3. The only difference is if you're watching this video on the 6th of August 2020, you can go out and buy an Apple Watch Series 5 right now in any tech store, whereas you're going to have to wait till the 19th of August for the Samsung Watch 3 to ship here in Australia. Alright, so let's talk about the specs of these two. From a specs point of view, there isn't really much that you need to really be aware of. It's a smartwatch. Now, I don't personally love them, so my opinion here is a little bit biased. They can't do an absurd amount of things, they can't store an absurd amount of stuff, so at the end of the day, you don't need them to be the powerhouse gaming machines that a desktop is or something like the Note 20 Ultra is. So the Samsung Watch 3 has Gorilla Glass base with an AMOLED display, whilst the Series 5 has a sapphire crystal OLED display. The Samsung weighs anywhere from 49.2 grams to 53.8, depending on the model, and the Apple Watch comes in at about 47.8 grams for the low end 40mm version. Battery wise, we're talking 247 to all the way up to 340 milliamps for the Samsung, with 296 milliamps for the Apple Watch, with 1GB of RAM in each, 8GB of storage in the Samsung Watch 3, and up to 32GB in the Apple Watch. Now they also have a bunch of different sensors in them. All of them are exactly the same in both of them. The only thing that I can find different out of the Samsung Watch 3 and the Apple Watch 5 is the Apple Watch 5 has an inbuilt compass. Now, before we talk about the actual design and aesthetics of these things, let's talk about the features beyond the basics that you'd get in any single smartwatch. Now, I know that most smartwatches can do all the same things, so that's why I want to specifically focus on what these two can do different or better than anything else. Straight off the bat, both of these have fall detection. If you're somebody who's getting on in their age, or somebody like me that's pretty much broken their leg and hopping around the whole house all day, every day, and you're a little bit worried about falling, or your loved ones are a little bit worried about you falling over and nobody being home to assist, the fall detection is an inbuilt feature that is very useful. Say you're in my position, you fall down the stairs, knock yourself unconscious, there's absolutely nobody around. Now, before I continue, touch wood, that doesn't happen because that's a very likely possibility. So if you did fall down the stairs, the watch would automatically detect that you've had a fall and signal a notification on the watch. If you don't respond to this notification in time, it'll start calling your emergency contacts. This means somebody will be notified of your fall and somebody will come to your assistance very, very quickly. I can't stress how important that is, especially for people with injuries or people getting on in life. Both of these have heart rate monitors inbuilt. The Watch 3 does have an ECG monitor, so it tracks the rhythmic beat of your heart. Unfortunately, this isn't active in Australia or in America. It is only active in South Korea for the time being, but they are pushing the patent to get through. It would again be a very useful feature for people with heart problems. Something the Samsung Watch is starting to push now is the cross collaboration between the phone and the watch, so they're unique, they are one at the same time. So for example, if you get a message on your phone, you take a look at it on your watch, you can automatically send a quick reply, and it tries to use an algorithm to understand what somebody has said so you can quickly reply to them. It also has the added ability of when you're using Spotify, if you've started playing a song on your phone, you found the playlist that you want, you're jumping into a workout, you only have your watch on, the phone in your bag, you can quickly tap through the songs on the watch and see exactly what they are. All of the features on both of these devices are kind of aimed more to your active lifestyle, to people who want to understand and track their progress. If it's running, swimming, jumping, gym, absolutely anything that's physically demanding and requires some sort of sensors to be able to track this data, it is definitely targeted to that community. Unfortunately, the reality of it is, if you just track all this data, what do you do with it? It's all well and good knowing that you got 6 hours of sleep last night or that you ran 4 kilometers yesterday, but how does that help you? I think if you're training for a marathon or if you're training for a swimming contest or anything like that and you want to progress further, faster, keep track of it, keep a log of it. Yes, it may have some potential. Yes, it may have some sort of useful features, but at the end of the day, in my personal opinion, the smartwatch market is still not there yet. It is simply an additional display off the side of your phone that can show you messages, sometimes talk to people depending which one you get, and kind of awkwardly navigate through apps. Okay, finally, let's talk about the aesthetics of the device. If you know nothing about me, well, I'm a Masters of Architecture graduate and I'm an entrepreneur by trade. I've started multiple businesses and one of them being a watch company. So I have sold thousands of watches across the world. The plaque up there actually symbolizes the first 10 watches I ever created. It's probably a little bit out of frame. Yep, it's definitely out of frame. But I do know a little bit about watch designing. So there's a few things on the Samsung watch that I think could have been better, and there's a few things on the Apple Series 5 that I could think can be better for the Series 6. Now, the fact that I know a little bit about what I'm talking about when it comes to watch design, I think definitely deserves another like and subscribe. So let's take a look at the Samsung Watch 3 first. So I wish the stitches match the actual black leather on the black model, because it just kind of stands out a little bit like a sore thumb. It's going for a very luxury feel, but it's not really portraying that. It's somewhere in between luxury and sport at the moment. Also, the red bezel on the side doesn't really fine tune anything. It doesn't really work with any other face but the one that they've displayed. So I find that a little bit weird. From the back side, again, still the stitching really bugs me. I wish it was black. And the choice of the interior leather lining, I know from very good experience, this is your most basic standard leather strap that you can buy off the shelf, and it wears pretty quickly. Yes, it will be a premium version of that, but they have had no real thought, no real passion about the strap itself, which is kind of very important in a watch that you're paying $650 for. I know you're paying it for the hardware and the actual watch itself, but the leather strap should have some character to it. It would have been really nice if the bottom of the strap was cut at a unique angle or something a little bit different. The pointed angle is very generic. It's again, the first thing you pick when you go to a watch manufacturer. And the loops, I know they're leather again, but it would have potentially been nice to see a little bit of a metal addition here just to give it more of a premium feel. So what about the Apple Watch 5? I do like the fact that they've tried to create a unique strap, something different. Even though it's too sporty for me, I do think that it is different, it's unique, and they've actually put some design and idea and philosophy behind it. Again, it has this red little thread on the side bezel, which I don't know why everybody's going for it. I do like the clean black bezel with the space gray edition where it matches the front display, but unfortunately when you go to the silver or the gold version, it doesn't really tie in too well and it becomes kind of a bit of a sore thumb on the design. I think the pebble design is starting to get a little bit outdated. I know it's very, very, very iconic to the Apple smartwatch nowadays, but I think when you think about this design, you start thinking, that's 10 years ago. There's nothing new about it. There's nothing really striking about it. So I think the Series 6 would be nice if it created something very different. Maybe an ultra minimalistic thin slab, I don't know. I don't work for Apple, so I can't really give you any inside advice there. Anyway, from an aesthetics point of view, I do think that the Samsung Watch 3 gives you the generic watch look, if that's what you're looking for, whereas the Apple Series 5 gives you that nice futuristic technology look. Anyway guys, that's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you smash that subscribe button 2020 style. Give that like button a big thumbs up, make it turn blue, because apparently it does huge things for the algorithm. Based on my last couple of videos, it is absolutely true. So I would truly appreciate it if you did. And I will see you next Monday.